Hey, 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 we are live on JenergyVibes. Woohoo! I'm so excited. Jason Lebowitz, my dear friend. Hello, we are here.
Hello. Are we live?
We are live.
This is,
Absolutely. We are live.
let's
Yep.
do this.
I'm just making sure I see, okay, we're on LinkedIn and I'm seeing it. Just checking my Facebook.
Kenny D in the house.
Yes, we are. Yep, we are live. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, welcome in. I'm so excited that we finally are together.
We're here. We're here.
We are
like
here.
in your world. Congratulations on the launch of your new
Oh, thank
updated,
you.
upgraded show.
I was so excited to get back into it. Like I took my time I needed and it feels so good to be back and be in my own flow,
I'm
my
so
own
happy for
energy.
you. Yes.
Yeah.
I've been on
My
the journey
bubble.
with you from the beginning of all this and just
Yeah, you
love
have.
watching you just like
Yeah,
elevate.
you have. I know. I know. Ditto, my friend. Ditto.
Cheers.
Ditto. Yeah. So we are the class of 2020, are we not?
Yes.
That's what we always talk about.
That's right.
So very, very cool. Let me get over to the chat, see who we have. Kenny D, what's up? Kenny D, love it. Thank you for being here so much. Love it, love it, love it. Good to see you back on the platform, my friend. I have to get used to the name, little name change, but I love it. Kenny D, right? It flows. I love
Savor the
it.
flavor.
Savor the flavor, Kenny D. Love it. So yeah, so this is the perfect week to be talking about what we're going to be talking about, which is all about coming home to self, self-love first and foremost, and relationships and connection ultimately, right? Connection with self first, which then ripples out to connection with our loved ones and our family, which ripples out to connection with our friends, which ripples out into connection with other people in relationships, our spouses and marriage and girlfriends, boyfriends, and intimacy and all that stuff. And then out into the world.
In that order.
Right?
Yeah, in that order.
Right.
I love we're having this conversation. We're right near Valentine's Day. We're in the love month of February, and this brings up so much for so many. There's many that love Valentine's Day, and there are many who this
And that's
creates.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's okay.
But for others, it does create some sense of loneliness and isolation. If maybe they're not in a relationship with somebody else and they're struggling with that, or maybe they're in a relationship with somebody and they're still feeling lonely and the relationship is in an unhealthy place. And so all those things together, we have a lot to talk about today. Let's bring it on.
We do. We do. And I'm feeling it when you're saying it because I hear you say, especially the part about being in a relationship yet feeling so alone in it. Oh, like I've lived that, right? As I know you have. And it's, there's always that question, like, which is worse, like feeling lonely, being alone or feeling lonely when you're with someone, right? I think it's just different. I don't know if one is worse than the other. It's just different. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm so excited to continue this conversation because I actually on what's today? Tuesday. So yesterday morning, I was interviewed on the Relationship Guy podcast, who's on the other side of the pond in the UK. And his show is all about this and relationships. And we really, really, really went deep and talked a lot. I shared a lot from my own experiences in terms of the self-love and that being like the core of what ripples out. It all starts with how we feel about ourselves, right? And like seeking externally versus internally, the validation. And you talk a lot about the distractions, right? Those unhealthy distractions that distract us from connecting with ourselves and getting to know ourselves and ultimately loving ourselves and trying to fill that void.
It's all about that relationship with self, that connection to self. When we talk about
Yeah.
self-love, to me, we're talking about that connection, that alignment, that energy we
Mhm.
have, that liberating feeling where we are living our lives not by the external validation, not by the artificial temporary happiness,
Yeah.
but we have a healthy relationship to self.
Yeah, because it's really hard to enter a relationship and have something to really offer another person if we are not already whole within ourselves, like, right? Like,
Well, I'll challenge you a little bit on that. Is we can offer them a lot of times what they're missing,
right,
but it goes back to what you just said, because you're not talking about a whole human, a whole connection.
right.
So if something's missing with the other person, you happen to have it, and I'm sure it's going to work the other way around. We have a we usually connect that way, and it can be in an unhealthy way because we become dependent on those things.
Absolutely, because we don't know how to do that for ourselves. And
Yeah.
oftentimes, we're not taught how to do that for ourselves because our parents didn't know how to do that for ourselves and their parents didn't teach, you know what I mean? And it's a lot of it's generational
Mm.
and how we're brought up and what we're taught or what we're not taught. I know when I was growing up, you know, don't talk like sweep it under the rug. It doesn't exist. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Right.
Yeah.
So,
And then that
okay.
carries into the relationships. We don't talk about anything. We don't
Absolutely.
talk about the things that need to be discussed.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And um, like the stuffing our feelings and our as me, I'm all about the emotions, right? And the energy of emotion and energy in general. So, that's why I talked about, love is the highest frequency. It's the most powerful energy that exists. And I was thinking about that today, in preparation for tonight and just kind of really going there and really thinking about that. And it just kind of flowed through me like, oh, like the energy of love is so powerful. But if you can like embody the energy of love for yourself,
Mm.
like talk about raising your own vibration and living from this powerful energy and how much more you're going to have to bring and give and be for yourself first and the people in your life.
I love that. I've heard that there's this when you can create that energy, it's like a 3 meter wide energy kind of sphere that you have surrounding you. It's
Yeah.
powerful, powerful.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, because we are an energy body that has this physical body. So we have this whole energy field.
Mm.
And we're all part of the quantum, the wholeness of one of all that is. But then we have our own fields, and that's why we feel, oh, get out of my space. Like we get that sense sometimes, like somebody's in your space. Like there's a reason for that. That's a legit energetic. That's a vibration where you're feeling like, okay, my energy's no back
Mm.
up. you know
And it works the other way around too. When you have somebody feeling so good inside that field, or you just want to pull them
Yeah,
in.
absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, but we want to talk about like we want to pull ourselves in, we want to pull ourselves in and really really go there and do that inner healing work. And I think that's what we're really talking about here is when you talk about, the distraction piece. And you use, connection over convenience is what you say all the time. Can you share a little bit about can you elaborate on that briefly for people?
To me, we live in a world of convenience. And while convenience is great for so many things, when we're talking about relationship, relationship with others, it's not a great thing. But we tend to go towards when it's time to go inwards and do the inner work and do the healing work, we have a tendency to go to the distraction, go to the external to distract us from ourselves. And to me, it's always about connection over convenience, always taking the root of connection. To me, connection is the root of it all. When you have connection, it begins within and travels outward. And so it's always connection over convenience. Anything that we're doing that's convenience, and we're not choosing connection first, we have it reversed.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, James. Thanks for joining us. Great to see you. Yeah, and I had a thought and then I just lost it. The whole connection piece. I forgot what I was thinking. It'll come.
We're wired for connection.
We are.
We are
We
wired.
are. And we're wired to be part of tribe, part of community, right? Like we're wired for that. But we're also wired, and I when we talk about self-love and connection to self, in my mind and in my soul, I'm always in, it's all inclusive to me. That also means connection to higher self, higher power, right? It's like that's a huge part of self-love
Mm.
for me. I don't know about for you, but I think that's equally as important is to having that relationship. That's part of the relationship with self, is getting to know ourself on that deeper level,
Yeah.
that higher part of ourselves, that inner guidance that we all have inside of us. And that's a lot of the work I do with my clients, is really, really leading them home to their inner guidance system. Because everything that we need to be successful or to be happy
Is
or
already
to
in there.
be dot, 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 whatever is already inside of us.
Yeah. Humans crave connection. It's natural. That's where it all starts.
Absolutely. We have a LinkedIn user. Woo! Awesome. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about, I want to talk about XXO Connect, but what I'd like to, if you would, just kind of a little background in terms of why you're so passionate about connection over convenience, and what XXO Connect is really born of from your own personal journey and experience.
It comes from my struggle in relationships. And so I was in many unhealthy relationships, and it felt like I was repeating the relationship with the same person with a different name. Um, and there was an awareness to it. But as they increased, it got more unhealthy. I realized there's an awareness, but there's an accountability at some point where it has nothing to do with my partner anymore. It's not
Mm,
about them. It's about me. Why am I doing these things? What am I missing? What am I lacking? And it brought me to this long journey of going inwards. And it was a lack of connection to self, lack of
yeah.
relationship to self, talking about self-love today, self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
And the deeper you go and discover those things, and we're talking about the healing process,
Mm,
that is where I always talk about like a surgeon, where you make the incision and you
mm-hmm.
go inwards. And that's the point where we can either continue to go in, or we can put cover it up and go to the distraction and not have to deal with it.
Band-Aid.
The band-aid. And in doing
There's
so,
still an
that
open wound, right? There's still an open wound
there
with a
is.
Band-Aid. I just
And
want to say
that's
hi to Elise. Hello. Thank you for being here. And Sharon,
Elise.
thank you for letting us know who would. Oh, and Yermi's here too. Awesome. Cool. We got some cool peeps on tonight.
I like it.
Hi, Bree. I hope I said that right. Bree? Yes. Yeah. So the incision is done. And then instead of going in and completing the work, we
we
throw the
we
Band-Aid
we
on and
jump to the next thing, whether it's
yeah.
jump to the next relationship, jump to the next relationship, jump to whatever it is, the distraction, the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for me, I chose to keep going inwards. And that's and at the same time looking at the dating world at the time, with online dating apps being the standard for the past 15, 20 years, I guess at 15 at the time,
Hmm.
of looking at the culture where we were going, and almost as like loss of intimacy,
Mm,
loss of connection, these unhealthy relationships, this world of convenience and comparison, and also just instant gratification, validation, temporary
yeah.
artificial happiness, and also getting lost in just wanting to be accepted. So we'll keep
Mm,
swiping and doing what we can to be accepted, but there's still this disconnect. And early on in 2019, I guess it was, or maybe it's 2020 now, XXO launched as an offline matchmaking service, which turned into something completely different, which then ultimately brought all the way back to where we are today. And we do have a full dating component to this as well. But the
Right.
story, I mean, it came from my story of my struggles in relationships and understanding the struggles with mental health, personal growth, wellness, well-being, all these things, the healing process to get to that conscious, healthy relationship with self. That's the only way we're going to have it with others.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, and I have some of that experience myself in my past around, losing myself. And I kind of laugh because it's like, yeah, I was losing myself, but like I don't even know if I'd ever even found myself because I went from like, all the addiction and numbing out and then relationship like you, same person, different name, right? Um just kind of on the run, because being alone was scary. I had to stay
Mm,
distracted. I had to I was seeking externally like we were talking about.
yeah.
'Cause I was so disassociated and so numb inside and didn't wanna go there because that's where the pain was. I don't wanna go there. I ain't going there. And we will like any addiction, right? Any addiction, whether it's relationships, sex, drugs, alcohol, food, any decent addict, like I know a lot of addicts because 'cause I've been sober for 27 years, and we laugh all the time. We will stretch the run out as
Mhm.
long as we can.
Yeah.
Long after we've already like long after we've crossed that line, we will just keep stretching it until, we're so brought to our knees that we don't really have a choice anymore. That like for me, it was like, the gift of desperation and I was in enough pain and um I had to do something.
Mhm.
I couldn't keep going the way that I was. And I couldn't see myself continuing down the road that I was on, but I also couldn't see myself living any other way either. I was terrified. Right. And so making that decision, did you experience that? Like making that decision? Because like this leads us into like identity, like what the story, right? And the identity and the meaning that we attach to the story for ourselves and the identity that whatever we're identifying with that story, I'm not good enough, or, whatever it is that we're telling ourselves.
My identity was always tied into the relationship. And it's great because Chantel
Yeah.
Landrigo, we just did a
Yeah.
live on this recently. We talked about this, and her
Yeah.
and were in the same place, years ago, and we're in the same place today, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, but we would tie up everything into the relationship. So we would lose ourselves in the relationship, um, and outside the relationship, have no relationship with self.
Yeah.
And now today, her and I were talking about if anything happened and either of us didn't have, the relationship ended, that while it would be tough and difficult,
Yeah.
it's not like we will be fine. It's not the
Mhm.
end of our relationship. Like we each continue the relationship on our own. And to me, that's what a healthy relationship is today, is continuing it on your own no matter what.
Mm.
You're not
I love
desperate
it.
for a relationship. It's not like your all existence to find and be in a relationship, because you have it with yourself. And that was what
Right.
was missing for each of us.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an enhancement in our life. And like that is the distinct difference between my first marriage and my current marriage. My first marriage, when he left, I thought for sure I couldn't live without him. I'm done. Like I'm done. The pain, it was horrible. I'm not even going to details, but it was bad.
Mm.
And because I had lost myself in it and I'd become so dependent on him for certain reasons. Um and this time around, I know without a shadow of a doubt that I don't want something to happen to Mike, but if something did, I'm gonna be okay
Yeah.
because I'm with myself today, like you're talking about. I
I
didn't
want
have
to
that back then.
I want to bring this up, and I hope you'll go there with me. Is that I want to
Yeah.
show that it's never too late to go through transformation and to make these changes. And
Mm.
for you, if you would, like, tell me what age you're at right now, and you're just getting started, which is amazing. Like it's amazing. Like it's never too late. People get so locked in, like,
I know.
well, I'm just stuck. This is who I am. And I would
Yep.
say that, that is bullshit. We're
Yep.
all able to, we're just not all willing to. But I
Yeah.
love for you to tell your story, kind of just a quick of where you are right now.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. He just asked me my age. He just asked a woman her age. What do you guys think? Should I tell? I say it all the time. I don't care. I'm proud. I'm
I know you
52,
do.
man. I am 52. I am owning that. Yeah. I'm 52. And, I had a deep surrender 2 years ago, October of 2019, that led me to where I am now. And, I come from a long, 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 long history, journey, and story of starting with childhood trauma, 2 years of addiction and self harm, to that all manifesting as a chronic illness, MS, living sick, disabled, homebound for 7 years, to a divine intervention that saved my life, to healing and taking it all back. That experience that all those years ago, I lost my first marriage. I lost my first career. I lost my first business. I lost everything. I was brought to my knees because of MS. But I also rose again because I made that power of decision at the age of 36 that one day. And I said, this is bullshit. Because you know what? This is about, like, it's about radical responsibility. I wasn't taking responsibility for
Mhm.
myself and for my health and for the mess that I was laying around in. And so I decided this mess, this isn't it for me anymore. And so that was the day I became a powerful creator at the age of 36, where I decided to recreate myself out of that mess. And so the journey has just been an amazing step by step domino into the next domino into the next domino of just healing. And my healing journey led me to energy 2 years ago. And it's the energy that ultimately set me free. Because I was still tethered to particularly the trauma in my childhood that I had done so much healing work, but there was something I was just tethered and I just couldn't shake it off. Like there's this, like, I can't shake this off. And so now I'm here standing for your power to heal. And I stand for firmly that our pain is power when given purpose. And so that's what I've done. I've taken that mess and I've transmuted the pain into power by giving it purpose. And so I am working with other people, holding up the lantern just like you are. And I am in love with what I do. And I'm so passionate about healing. But the piece about healing I'm so passionate about is emotional healing, because everything comes back to the emotions. So if we want to heal whatever it is, whatever form of dis-ease that's manifested in our lives, in our bodies, mental, physical, spiritual, if you're ignoring the energy and the emotions, you're missing a huge piece.
If you're ignoring the energy and emotion, you're just going through the motion, which
Right.
goes back to
Recycling.
just existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're in the loop, in the cycle. And that's where I was until the energy found me, I should say.
Powerful,
Yeah.
powerful. Look at
Yeah.
everyone. Everyone's loving that story.
Yeah. And I just feel like, you know what? I feel like a big kid. Like I'm finally, like, little Jen came out to play 2020. That was 2020. I don't know if this is true for you, but like 2020 created space for me. It gave me the space to really go in and do some amazing inner work and create all this expansion starting within out. And I'll forever be grateful for 2020 for that, because it was a turning point.
And here we are today.
Val, what's up, my
2022.
love? Oh, thank you, Val, for being here. I know. Look at me now. Woohoo! Yeah, now I'm like, you know what? I'm 52 and that story's done. I'm over it. Like, that story's over. Bye. It's not my story anymore.
Well, that goes back to what we're talking about, is it's not your identity. You can identify with it, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean it's your identity. You're not locked into that personality anymore.
Right.
How liberating is that, right?
It's so liberating, dude, because like I've always said that and I don't even say it anymore, but this was my joke for decades was there is an empty space on my fireplace mantle for my Oscar that I won for playing the victim role. And it got lost in the mail. I know it's coming. It hasn't arrived yet. But I earned it. And that I don't have an empty space for that anymore.
Save that spot for something else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
self-love. Let's talk self-love. What are
Let's
we
talk.
doing with all this self-love that we're talking about in the month of February, in the month of Love Month?
Yeah.
Recently, I found out that there's a National Self-Love Day. There actually is a National Self-Love Day, and I'm not talking about Valentine's Day. It happens to fall on this month. It's Sunday, February 13th is National
Yep.
Self-Love Day. And so while everybody else will be celebrating the Super Bowl,
Yes.
we're holding our own Super Bowl of self-love for a 3-hour free live self-love fest. Love the fuck out of yourself with 7 expert
Cheers.
dating, relationship, sex, mindset, love, intimacy, relationship coaches and therapists, where everybody gets to come in for free into our XXO room for 3 hours and enjoy our self-love fest, have access to all of the coaches and therapists, be able to ask them anything. You can come as one, you can come as a couple if you want to. And we're going to have a fun time. We're going to have a lot of giveaways. It's going to be an amazing experience.
Yeah, let's just back up. Can you just explain what XXO Connect is? I don't think we did that.
So it's the platform built for connection to self first. So it's a live interactive video platform, not streaming like we are now or streaming like watching something. It's actually live interactive. Everybody is in these rooms. And we have coaches and therapists all around the world who hold these different rooms every day, multiple times a day. And our members have access to mindset and transformation coaches and therapists and healing and energy healers and sex, love, relationship, dating coaches. And I mean, it just goes on and on. We have breathwork rooms, meditation rooms, yoga rooms. It just goes on. And then we have a whole dating platform on top of that. So it's a true platform built for connection and community.
Absolutely.
But the root of it is wellness, personal growth, mental health, creating a relationship to self first and others. Almost like we're doing the inner work together, doing the healing work, but in a fun way. And I don't like to use that word, like, don't tell anybody it's fun, but we have a lot of fun inside our platform.
Dude, you're speaking my language.
Yes.
Because that's what I always say, like, because I see this all the time. People on their healing journey, like they think they have to wait till they reach a certain level of healing before we can like give ourselves permission to laugh more and experience joy. And I think that's what's a little bit different about me in the healing arts. It's like I bring that sense of wonder and that sense of fun and laughter and humor, because humor's been a huge part of my life, and it's such a powerful tool to transmute energy and move it through and out of the body. Like laughter and humor is like, it's powerful. It can change your vibration and your frequency like that.
Yeah.
So having fun, absolutely. And we do have fun.
We do have fun.
In XXO.
We're the whole human connection experience without the swipe. Like we don't have any posting or swiping, right? It's all live. And so we're gonna have our first live fest, and I'm sure we'll make this a yearly thing. But everybody, we have limited spots available, so it does require sign up. I don't know if you have a sign up, but it's xxoconnect.com. If you go there, you'll find the link up top to sign up for the free self-love fest for this Sunday. Be live coaching and a lot of fun. Jen's going to be doing a meditation during the event.
What is it? /?
You can just put xxoconnect.com. There'll be but it's / self-love day.
All right. Yeah. I just put xxoconnect.com.
Okay.
I think it's right. I don't have my glasses on. Absolutely. Oh, Kenny D. Katie J at 63. I'm owning it. Savor the
I
flavor of the
like that.
awesomeness in that. Yes, that's delicious. Delish. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, and I'm really the people that the leadership team that you've brought in for XXO is amazeballs. I mean, the
Mhm.
caliber of the mentors and the coaches and the therapists, I mean, and the experts in their field is just incredible. And the energy in each of the rooms.
It's
There's so much
amazing.
love and the members are experiencing incredible transformations.
Yeah, I would like to say we're not just information. We provide
No.
transformation is what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like live interactive, like transformational, experiential community,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
We're in it for ourselves, but not by ourselves. And we hear that about business all the time. You're in it for yourself, but not by yourself. But that it's legit. Like the inner work is really, yeah, it's for you and you do it with yourself, but to be part of an energetic tidal wave, if you
Yes,
will,
I like that. I
right?
like that. Yeah.
Energetic tidal wave of healing and growth and transformation, and you're all riding that wave together,
Mm,
and picking each other up and lifting each other up.
yeah. And then you add dating and relationship to that as well, of people
Yeah.
who value wellness and personal growth and doing the inner work and surrounding yourself with other conscious humans. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yeah.
just for people who are single, but that too feels so good.
Right. You're with like-minded people who care about their personal development as much as you do.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better than that.
No, it's so
Oh,
attractive. It's so attractive.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like to be able to, and this has always been one of my favorite things is to be able to like meet somebody and you don't really know them yet, but yet you're diving in
Mm,
and you're going definitely deeper than the surface because you both come from that desire of going there. You know what I'm saying?
of
It's not
course.
like you're meeting somebody out at the bar or, meeting your friends and just like, surface talk, you know. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I love that to be able
I'm
to,
hearing you.
yeah, welcome somebody into my room. I don't know them. I don't know them well. And then there they are, and they're just willing to lay it out there because they're in an experience and they want transformation. And then I'm able to channel and do what I do. And then we come together and we go there, we go deep. And then they end up leaving in an elevated place.
I love it.
I
Wow.
mean, that's what we're talking about here, you guys. That's what happens inside of XXO. I see it every week in my room. Every week. Lenka, what's up, my love? Oh, she said, hi, J and J. Right. J and J. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. This is like so, so amazing. So what time is it 5 to 8
5
Eastern?
5 Eastern, 5 to 8 Eastern,
Yep.
and during that time, we have 7 expert coaches and therapists throughout there. Jen is running a meditation to kick this off. We have a couple other special, um, surprises that will happen, as well as a ton of giveaways. So it's the event you do not wanna miss. It is the self-love fest.
The Super Bowl of
Super
self-love.
Bowl of self-love.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
Touchdown. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Love it. And we've had a few other events. You did Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Did we do a New Year's? No, we did a January event though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be a little different. This is where, I mean, we've never done something at this level. We only have 200 spots available, and we
Yeah.
don't have 200 anymore. So it's a first come first serve to sign up. So make sure that if you're looking to sign up for this, just go there now and sign up so you reserve
Yep.
your spot. It is free.
Yeah. XXOConnect.com.
That's
And
it.
you can sign up there and secure your spot, and you'll get an email securing your spot, and you can join us.
That's it.
on Sunday. I know. It's so exciting. So exciting. Yeah, I had a really good talk on it's just like it's interesting because I like was it last week? Last week it seemed like the theme for that week everywhere I went and I don't know, whoever I talked to and the conversation, the theme was identity. Like identity and the stories and what we're identifying as. And now that's just kind of it's just interesting. As a conscious observer, I took note of that because like I guested on a show and and I had my show and like we talked all about that stuff. And then it led into like this past week that now it's just like all the self-love and especially with Valentine's Day coming up and a lot of the superficialness of that holiday.
Mm.
And that and even like the post I did where I talked about like don't let like on February 1 I said don't let these next 14 days define your self-worth as all of the marketing and promotion for Valentine's Day and love is thrown in all over the place, right?
Yeah.
That's it doesn't define our worth. Our worth is innate. It's innate. And it's up to us to take that radical responsibility and shed the conditioning, unlayer to go home. To come home, I should say, not go home.
Mm.
To come home. How beautiful is that? Like
I love it.
we get to come home. Yep.
Cheers.
Awesome.
Good.
Found you. Hi guys. Found us. All right, who is that? It says LinkedIn user. I want to know. Who are you? Who are you? You found us. Where were you looking? In all the wrong places, looking for love. Too many faces. I never cared for V-Day. I have a V-Day every day. At least I try. I love it, Lenka. Yeah, and one of my I don't know if I've shared this with you, Jason, but one of my favorite quotes is from Danielle Laporte, and it says, "Self-care is a divine responsibility." And I love that because self-care is a huge part of self-love.
Mm.
Because self-care, it's so much more. It's really not about going and getting that massage and doing all the things that that kind of stuff. Like the really caring for ourselves in all the ways. All right, what are we laughing at?
It's Beata.
Oh, it's Beata. Why am I incognito here all the time? Oh, I'll tell you later. You got to change your settings in LinkedIn. I discovered I learned what the problem was. I'll share that with you later. Yeah. But yeah, like self-care. It's like all the things, right? That make up self-love. Is caring for ourselves first.
Mm.
And it's not selfish. Let's talk about that real quick because that's a big thing. Don't you think? Like we're conditioned, like we have this like belief that like it's selfish to take care of ourselves.
So what's the other side to that then? Just to keep giving to everybody else?
Yeah. I mean, that's
So that's then a lack of boundary, correct?
yeah, or lack of self-worth or all the things.
Well, a lack of self-worth would result in the inability to create that healthy boundary.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And
Nothing, ready for this? Nothing is lost in love. It's lost in boundaries.
right.
Let that land for a minute.
It's true. Yeah, I've heard you say that. It's true. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we can go around and throw out boundaries for other people, but the boundaries really need to be for ourselves. Because ultimately that's again coming back to self. Sucks not having boundaries, doesn't it? But it's so amazeballs when you do.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Katie J. I never thought it was selfish to take care of myself first. Ask me if I care. I dare you. Savoring that, my friend. That's
I
good.
love that.
I'm jazzed for you. I'm so happy for you. I do, and I see it a lot, women a lot, especially, you know, natural caretakers and, you know, to put yourself first. And, you know, I've done that myself where I'm not at the top of the list, you know, for a lot of years. Like I get to it, right? I'd get to it, but like, you know, the kids, like all the other things come first. But, you know, the bottom line is I'm no good to anybody else if I'm not taking care of Jen,
Mm,
you know? So,
I love it. Brian,
yeah.
how are you?
Hey, Brian. Yeah. What else you got? What else you got?
What else I have at 8:42 at night? I'm going to bed. This is it's like
Is
I
it
gave it a
8:42?
long day today.
41. Wow. Oh, it is 8:42. Look at
Mm,
that. Look at that. All right. Well, you got your Kermit the Frog green on tonight.
I'm good to go.
Awesome.
Ribbit. And I'll see
Really?
everybody on our self-love fest on Sunday.
Yeah, please join us. It's going to be really, really wonderful. Go to xxoconnect.com and get yourself signed up, secure your spot, and we will see you there on Sunday. Let's see. As always, or I'm always at the top of my list, baby. Sweet. I love it. I love it, Kenny. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Jason, thank you for taking out time to come on out and talk about self love. And that's really what it's all about. And that's what's most important, you know, especially if just remembering you're not alone, you know, and come
Never
join
alone.
us. Never
Never alone.
alone. No.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Cheers.
Cheers.